Hey guys, it's Ghosty with special guest
Alyssa!
Welcome back to my channel, and today we're talking about Death Note. My great friend Alyssa had this great idea that I should cover horror anime in our channel, and then I was like, yeah, we should do it, but we should do it together because she really loves anime, probably more than me, honestly.
Clearly, I've got the hoodie on, like anime.
She came on deck over here. So yeah, we figured that we're gonna start covering horror anime on my channel. We wanted to start with Death Note, which is my all-time favorite anime. And like it's not my first anime, but it was like my first taste into anime for real. My first anime was Sailor Moon, but I was a kid when I watched that.
Oh, I didn't even know that Death Note was your. That is such.
Yeah, okay. It was. Well, actually, okay, I'm lying. Sorry, it was Attack on Titan, but Death Note was my second one.
I love, and I'm also like disturbed that both of those series were adapted to anime, but.
Yeah, they were recommended to me, so I checked them out. I fell in love with Death Note when I first watched it immediately.
Yeah.
Obsessed. I had like a poster. I own my own Death Note. I had a shirt. Like I was a Death Note simp between the years of 2015 to 2017.
I'm learning so much in this conversation. I just want to make it clear I don't endorse owning your own Death Note. For the record.
There are names in my Death Note.
Okay. I don't endorse any of this. I don't.
I was so excited when I got it too. It was a Christmas gift.
Wait, can we just pause and like just acknowledge how iconic this conversation is? We have two Black girls coming together to talk about anime. I feel like an angel's getting their wings right now.
Yeah, no, this is pretty iconic. And one of the Black girls has pink hair, so it's like alternative.
It's like, yeah, it's hardcore. It's hardcore.
This is my first time revisiting since I first watched it in 2015. What about you? How many times have you seen Death Note?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I rewatch it at least once a year.
Really?
Yeah, like if I have nothing else to watch, I'm like, let me watch Death Note again. Like Death Note is definitely in my top 5 anime of all time. So I've watched it. It came out in 2015, you said?
Well,
I don't know, that's when you started watching it. I think I watched it. I watched it in middle school or early high school.
I think it came out like 2007.
Yeah, I think that's right.
It starts off in 2007.
Yeah, so I've watched it probably at least 10 times. Like,
wow.
And it's so crazy.
And have you read the manga?
I didn't read the manga.
Oh, go ahead.
I didn't read the manga. But it's so crazy. Every time I watch it, I notice something else. Like it's one of those where you can just keep watching it and just go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, like catch a new detail. And of course, this time I watched it, I caught a really big detail that just clicked. That I feel like your viewers are gonna judge me. It's so obvious. But I was just like, oh my God, I didn't notice that. Oh my God.
What was it?
So at the ending, which we need to talk about the ending, okay? Like we need to dedicate some time to the ending. But when the credits are rolling, you see Misa on the train, and then you see Misa standing on the edge of the building, and she closes her eyes. I did not know that Misa K-worded herself at the end.
I didn't know that either.
She K-worded herself.
I never watched credits. I'm not gonna lie.
You didn't watch the Death Note credits.
I know that like in most animes they have stuff that's important, but I still just never watch it.
This one, like, you had to watch. So you didn't watch the credits for the
no,
even though it cut right into the credits.
No, I don't watch the credits.
Damn it. Like that's where the glory of the series happens.
I know.
Like I feel like we can't even have this conversation now.
You could still share your ideas.
I mean, it's just okay. So the director of Death Note is Tetsuro Araki, who is also the animation director of Attack on Titan. And this man, like, it was like everything that he is good at just culminated into the credits. Like the soundtrack was like hauntingly beautiful. You're literally watching light die, but it's like it was like he was finally at peace almost. Like the music, the animation, like when he finally dies, the camera pans, you see Ryuk sitting on the tower overlooking the sunset, and then the camera pans from the sunset to the moon, like, and the music resolves. Like it was just Deanna. Like,
okay, let me go watch the credits real quick.
No, it was just, I mean, I honestly got the same feelings I had when I watched that last scene in Midsummer where that music is playing and you're watching the fire temple burn down. Like it elicited those same like, oh, like this is disturbing, but also this is like great.
Beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, I like sometimes, okay, I'm like being very like obsessive right now, but sometimes I will literally go on YouTube and just watch the credits. Like
that's not crazy obsessive. No, not at all. Good. I love that. I did not know you were this dedicated to Death Note. That's actually really beautiful. Why is Death Note horror? I was really thinking about this one. And the only thing I could come up with is Ryuk is scary looking and this revolves around death.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could come up with. But you know, it's a killer.
Yeah.
It's like a thriller mystery, like a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
This was honest, the live action is awful, but this would make a good movie if they did it right.
If they did it right. Yeah. Yes. They were onto something when they had Lakeith Stanfield playing L. I stand behind that. They were onto something. But it was just not right.
They basically rewrote the character.
They did. I'm like, why are y'all doing this? It was literally fine. You had the blueprint. I don't know what the copyright situation was, but
I don't know.
That's another conversation.
Yeah. But yeah, that's to me why I would consider it horror.
I feel like there are so many classic like horror like tropes and elements in the series too, like all the montages when Light or someone was like writing the book and you have this really sinister music in the background and you see people dying, like that just elicited like the typical feelings that I would get like when watching a horror movie. Some of like the shots on the facial expressions also, like you remember when Light got his memories back?
Yeah,
he was just like
that gave me chills. And honestly, while rewatching this was what I was looking forward to the most. I was like, I cannot wait to see that, because when I first saw him get his powers back, like when I first watched it, I was like, or his memory back, I was like, oh my god. Because by that time, I was like, oh, Light's a good guy. The book only makes him bad. And I was like, this is so great. And I did not know that it was all a part of the stupid plan.
Yes, like that
plans.
Yeah, like that moment, that's when I think I realized like, oh, this man is a sociopath for real. Like for real.
Insane.
Like,
I mean, I think I realized he was when Misa was like, use me, and he was like, okay.
Yes. Oh my god. Also, literally the whole Ray Pember arc where he killed Ray Pember. Yeah. And then he meets his wife and he spends the entire conversation with his wife trying to figure out how to kill her. Like, oh my god.
It was so psychotic. And the ending of that episode made me so sad.
No, the way that was really creepy. Like when she was walking towards the gallows, like that gave me chills too.
That definitely. And it was because he kept winning. Yeah, I think that they structured this anime very interesting because the first half is just him winning. Every time somebody would try and come for him, he would block it, and then we spend the middle of him. It doesn't look like he's winning. It looks like he's kind of given up, and then he does win, and then he thinks he's already won, and then he starts to lose slowly and unravel. Yeah. And they do the switcheroo at the end, and
you know, to me, Elle had a very similar experience of like winning, and then thinking like I feel like when he got Misa, And when he had detained Light too, I feel like he thought like, okay, this is it. And then everything kind of started unraveling from there, like from the moment that they disowned the notebooks. I really hope that we talked about like this, like, I know we're going to talk about characters, but like looking at the similarities and differences between Light and
so
Elle,
important. So important.
Like,
I mean, I think the writers really wanted, when they were writing these characters, really wanted this anime to be about these two characters and like what these two dynamics look like. Because once Elle is gone, we can all agree that it starts to lose its traction. It's not as interesting. Because even we have Nier, but Nier is just not nearly
Nier and Mello, I didn't care for them as characters that much.
Care for them at all. I don't care for any of the characters they introduce after Light dies. Or Elle dies, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't care for any, like the delete guy.
No. I didn't care for the second half of it in general. I think one of the big things, because somebody said, oh, Ray Pember's wife, what's her name? She got a name. I can't remember her name.
I can't remember.
But
I don't remember the names of literally anybody.
She told Light, like, oh, you remind me of Elle. And I was just like, huh. First of all, I don't remember. This was my first time actually noticing that she said that in my rewatch. But I feel like what I noticed that's very similar about them is that they are both very prideful. Like at some point, points, like throughout the whole series, like their pride was either their fall or it just became the center and just like threw them off their game. Certainly for Light at the end, like
for sure.
Certainly for Light, but even for Elle,
they're exact replicas of each other. But the way I see it is that Light he uses his intelligence to manipulate and get what he wants, and Elle is just trying. He's black and white, right, wrong, right, wrong. Like he's just trying to be right. And wrong. And that's so interesting to me because they are the same character and they have the same brains. They just use it differently.
They also both use inhumane tactics though. I mean, he had Misa like locked up.
Yeah, that was really
real. Like just couldn't move. And then he got Light's dad to do that, like say he was gonna murder them and then like K-word himself. Like
shout out to Light's dad though. That is a real detective cop because right when Elle was like, yeah, I think your son is Kira, like his dad was obviously upset by it, but he wasn't like, no, we're not gonna investigate. No, how dare you? Like he let everything that needed to happen. You know, he's like, I will make peace with my son being a crazy psychotic killer if I need to, but this is about solving that. And I really respected that. I really liked that they had that, especially because that's his dad, you know, like you would expect him to fight that.
And at the end, when Matsuda, first of all, he turned up at the he shot like 5 times.
I love him.
I'm still shook every time I watch that.
I love him so much. I love him so much. I'm so happy he got that redemption because he was like the weak character and he was the one that got to take down Light. Like that was beautiful for me.
But he was just like, dude, like your dad, you killed your own father. Like your father, I mean, his dad was pretty much killing himself, like with the investigation anyways. Like he grayed severely. Also, that's what I was gonna mention, Tetsuro Araki, like the way he animates like the physical progression of characters, like I loved how they grew up between the first 2 seasons. Like Matsuda, Aizawa's hair got. First of all, also Aizawa is a black man. Can we agree? He's black. Can we agree that he's black? Because he was the only one who was not with the shenanigans.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't, clearly. Sure. I mean, he's got to be black. We can put a pin in that.
For sure.
But when he was just like, Light was just like, oh yeah, you mean Seiichiro Yagami? Whatever, he was just a pawn in my game. I'm like, oh my God, Light! Like your dad literally sacrificed his life for you.
Do you think that Light like already had that in him from the start, or do you think he got progressively worse as he continued to win?
I think it was that. Like once I think the whole show was just him testing the limits of the power that he had. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, and every time he won, it just added more fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
That's why, I mean, think about that scene at the end where he like is running after he gets shot by Matsuda and he runs past himself, like walking the different direction. I think for me that like kind of symbolized like he had just gone too far and he wishes he could go back to a different point to stop himself from going so far. Like
because he took it too far.
Yeah,
it was like cute at first. It was like,
yeah, it was real cute. He was punishing criminals,
right? But then he started calling himself a god.
Yeah, that's what I'm
trying to
like,
build a new world.
Whoa. Yeah.
I also really liked that, or not to cut you off. Go ahead though.
No, go ahead.
My thought.
Go ahead.
I like that we got, as much as I hate the second half of this show, I like that we got to see the new world. You know, like we spent so much time like saying like new world, and we get to see it, and believe it or not, there's people that support him.
Yeah.
Not surprised, the United States said whatever. Also, I love the way like the United States character president is totally like Trump and Bush together.
Yes, put together. I'm like, who is this?
I'm like, who animated
like he was like pragmatic, but also he was just like, we're not, no. Y'all are y'all.
Right. Yes.
But was there really
But
was there really a new world though? Like, I mean, it was, because I mean he had open Kira sympathizers. But the part that put that into question for me is when he got all those Kira supporters to surround where Nier and his people were. And they created a diversion by throwing money, L's like estate, into the crowd. And that just caused everybody to just completely disregard everything that they were doing.
Yeah.
So he wasn't like actually making the world like good.
Yeah, no.
I mean, people are still, you know,
that's just literally the epitome of Trump supporters right there. It's like they're blindly following stuff, you know, but if you throw some money at them, if you, you know, create a diversion. Yeah, I'm throwing some tea on the YouTube today. But I saw that and I was like, because they were like,
yes, turned up,
like, ah! And then they're like, money!
Yes. I'm like, are you serious?
America representation.
Literally.
To the T. These Japanese writers just knew.
Yes. Now, the other thing that stuck out to me was Mikami, like, well, obviously not stuck out to me, but Mikami like referring to Light as God. And like saying God chose me and all this other stuff.
He's crazy.
Like, and then, but Light, the thing that creeped me out is that Light knows it's not true. Like, he
knows that they're all idiots and he's just manipulating them.
Yes.
It's all a game to him.
Does that make you
a game to him?
Does that make you think about religion though at all?
It didn't until you just mentioned that.
It made me think about religion.
Yeah.
It made me think about religion.
Yeah. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
I think parts of religion are acting, not an act necessarily, but acting. And I mean, Light knows that he's acting. I mean, Mikami thinks that he has been chosen by the Shinigami and like by Light and all these other things for this greater purpose, when he's just a diversion. Like, he's literally just a diversion that is going to help Light like not get caught.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just, I think it showed me how one could get blinded by religion sometimes if you're not scrutinizing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
granted, this is a
Wow.
very extreme example of that, right?
Yeah, it is.
Super
But no, it's
extreme.
still a good example.
Yeah, but oh my God, yeah, Miki was on some other stuff.
Delete.
Delete. Delete.
Delete.
Delete. That.
I was so irritated by his character, though. I'm not gonna lie. As soon as we got his whole backstory in the episode, I'm just like,
I'm like, this is the best y'all got.
Character?
Right. Right. Like, come on. Okay. He was bullied. All right.
Okay. Now he suddenly wants to kill all criminals.
He's very attractive, and he also wants to like get vengeance. Not surprising.
Why is Light like so attracted to all these, or so attractive to all these women though? Why is he such a ladies' man?
All the talk of the scenes just made me cringe. Every single one.
Just
especially the first one.
Oh. Yeah. I just didn't like any of his interactions with women in general. In this.
Yeah, I feel like his sociopathicness, if that's a word, really came out in his interactions with women because he was seeking information that he could use against them throughout the conversations with them.
Yeah, and I know like anime, they don't really write women all that well. Like anime doesn't like women aren't represented very well in anime. But I feel like particularly in this show, it's just we have two women characters fighting over this loser, and they are both like, use me. Like Misa's literally like, I would do anything, just love me. And he barely does that. And he convinces her half the show to let him have other girlfriends. Like,
yeah, she was.
And the episode where he's like, yeah, let's live in together. She's like, I won, because they're like moving in together. Yeah. And I'm just like, that's all you want.
But in the
all
end,
you want out of this.
In the end, who had the most agency about when and where they died? Who? Misa. Everything she said would happen. She told Takada to your face, Kira's going to execute you. What did Kira do? Executed her in the truck. Like, so, that's the other thing I want to talk to you about, because Misa is like portrayed as this very naive character.
Yeah, she is.
To an extent, Ryuk is also portrayed as naive.
Mm-hmm. I love Ryuk.
Then, like, so it made me think about goodness and intelligence, like how we kind of think about goodness and intelligence being the same thing. Light is very smart, also like pure evil. Takada also very smart, had some evil things going on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it was like, I think Misa and Ryuk were naive, but they had pure, like, unwavering intentions.
A third person in this, I can't, Matsuro, the detective.
Matsuda.
Yes.
Also naive, but pure. Like, having pure intentions. So that, I don't know, it made me think about like how, at least I have sometimes conflated intelligence and goodness, or being smart as being a good person, like, or being respectable, right? Yeah.
I was just thinking about that today too, not even related to Death Note, but I was just thinking about how we use smart as a like compliment, because I was thinking about my baby sister, and I'm like, she's so smart.
Yeah.
At a young age, and which is cute and great and everything. But I was like, how do I feel about this? Not being smart is okay.
Listen, I'm like, I could imagine Light as a like child being told that, oh, Light, you're so. I mean, look at his mom, like the way his mother dotes after him, and like, just lets him talk to her any kind of way. He was like, Mom, don't come in my room. Leave me alone. Okay, honey. Excuse me? Boy, you better come down here and eat this sushi.
Right, exactly.
Eat this sushi rice.
He partially got away with so much stuff because his parents just trusted him. Yeah. The potato chip scene where he has like the bag of potato chips.
The potato chip scene.
And the camera or the TV inside the potato chip bag.
I take a potato chip and I eat it. What the heck?
I feel like that's like one of the biggest jokes of Death Note. Like everybody mentions
I'm like,
that.
Is this real? Is this a real point in the plot? Okay.
Which makes sense. I mean, like this is actually kind of funny. A lot of the comedic relief comes from Ryuk, which I love him more than anything.
Ryuk?
I love that he's a true neutral.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He was pure.
He's a true neutral, because even when we have like Rim is not neutral at all.
No, she had motives.
No, she had motives. The whole thing, and she kind of helped Light a little bit because she lied about stuff. Ryuk just choose to not be involved at all. Yeah. I mean, aside from dropping the stupid
right, and then just shacking up the world and then dipping.
Aside
I'm
from
bored.
starting this mess.
I'm gonna dramatically change Earth.
Yeah. But I like that we got to see, especially because we spend so much time with just Light, L, and Ryuk. And you get to see the good, the bad, the neutral.
That's why the ending, Deanna, like I feel like him writing Light's name in the notebook was peak neutrality. He was just like, oh yeah, sorry, not sticking around. I'm good. Ryuk is definitely one of my favorite characters. Like,
yeah, mine too. He's probably my favorite character.
Yeah, his love for apples, that quirk is just so endearing. I feel guilty.
His outfit would be a good cosplay too.
Yes, it would.
I'd be into doing that.
I wouldn't go that far, but I would support you. In solidarity with you to do that. Also the Shinigami, that episode when the other Shinigami came into you, something like whatever that Shinigami's name was, when he came looking for his death note and they were beefing. That was funny.
Yeah. That he was a weird Shinigami. He was like kind of a pushover.
Yeah, he was. When he was like tapping the notebook on all. That was so
yes.
That was so funny. I don't know who my other favorites. There was nobody when I saw them on the screen. I'm just like, yes. For this person. I mean, I was just like, every time I saw somebody, I'm like, God, what now?
Yeah. Mine, Ryuk, L. When I first saw Death Note and L died, I cried. I bawled. Like, that hurt my feelings. It hurt it. And this watch, I keep saying his name wrong, but Matsuda. Yeah. Matsuda.
Yeah.
He became a favorite. He quickly, in the beginning, I was like, can somebody get this broad off the team? But as like we get to the end and he's just so like into justice and doing what needs to be done.
Yeah, especially when he popped off at the end, literally.
And I love that he was so like he didn't want to believe that Light was Kira because he cared about him so much. Yes. Like he just did not want to believe it, and it wasn't because like of anything other than like him just being a good-hearted person. Yeah. And him like caring about Light and his dad, and that I really loved that. I think he was such a great character. Underrated character if he's not like worshipped, but I feel like everybody just loves Light and L from this, and Ryuk probably.
Yeah. I didn't care for Nier or Mello. I already said that. Or anybody on that side of the thing.
Nier is literally like L. They didn't lie when they said that he was the true successor, but I just like was kind of annoyed by that. Yeah. Just like, why kill L?
Right, if you're just gonna introduce the same thing again.
Yeah. But I don't know and viewers comment below if you have any information on this, but I think there was a rewrite thing, or like the ending was rushed. There was something with the writing at the end of this is bad for a reason. I'm pretty sure I heard that from somewhere. Like they rushed the ending, or I think I heard that they were going to end it at Elle's death, and then they wrote more because it was good or something. I don't know, but I think I heard that the ending was rushed and weird.
It definitely, I mean, the fact that it seems rushed now that I think about it, it's not a bad ending though, but like considering everything else that happened in the series, it does seem rushed, especially because when it comes down to it, the only reason Light got caught is because Mikami he deviated from his routine. Like,
exactly,
that's like a very minor thing. Granted, it is a minor thing, so like I get it, right? But for that to be what shifts the whole story,
especially because the plan has been jacked up multiple times from the start.
Yeah.
And when they reveal how, like, in the end, like you said, it was so underwhelming. It was just like,
yeah, that's it.
You mean it took y'all this long to catch him, and this is the method you use, which could have been used 20 episodes ago?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And when you think about it, there's 37 episodes in the season. The last half is only 10 episodes. So we get 20 episodes of a whole beginning, and they write the ending in 10 episodes. So yeah, it seems rushed to me.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But it didn't feel, I think the way, like the context of how it ended with Light dying and Ryuk killing him, and the way like it was revealed that he was Kira and how they reacted to it, like that felt right. It's just like what led
all
up
the
to
stuff
that.
leading up to it.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't get why Mello had to be like.
Yeah, they had
together.
that whole episode of them like fighting.
Yeah.
And then they weren't like a race to get to Kira. I don't know. It was just weird. It was just not. It just wasn't really well thought out. But I mean, it doesn't change the fact that this anime is a 10 out of 10 because it's still so strong. It's still so strong. But those last couple episodes are definitely not. They're definitely not as good. One reason why I like Death Note so much is because Light has the same philosophy as my all-time favorite all-time favorite horror villain, and I said Saw already, so yeah, Saw. Jigsaw. Jigsaw doesn't think he kills anybody. He thinks he's just doing justice. He's testing people. He's playing God. Like, that's literally Jigsaw's whole philosophy. Like, do you actually deserve to live? If you deserve to live, then take this test. I mean, Light isn't testing people, but a human to decide to test other humans or decide when another human should die or if another human deserves to live.
Yeah.
Like, that is, we should, no, maybe not.
Probably
With that being said, let's abolish the death penalty. I'm just kidding.
Period. That's the whole point of this video. We just wanted to get that out.
The whole point of this video is another human should not.
This is all a ploy. Just to make that political statement.
What if these writers had that in mind? Because they write it in a way to where
there's tons of. I mean, there has to be some like very implicit political commentary in this. There's no way.
There's so much. There's so much, and they wrote it in a way to where we don't want Light to win. We want him to lose. We want him to get caught, even though we do perspective.
Because I for sure had to check myself a few times. Like, especially at the ending, I'm like, he taking too long. He can write their names right now. Like,
I never wanted him to win.
Oh,
Lord. I never wanted him to win. I think maybe like the first 2 episodes, I was like, yeah, he's doing good. But then when he got carried away, I was like, oh,
that's when he got carried. When it got to like, I started not wanting him to win after Elle died. I was too late. I was too late.
It was like maybe before Elle died, but right when he died, I was like, yeah, I definitely don't want him to win.
Like when he smiled at Elle dying in his arms.
Yes.
That's why I was like, oh,
that whole episode.
Yeah, the bells.
Like, it's so sad.
Yeah.
Because Elle knew.
Yeah, he knew his time was coming. He knew his time was coming.
And I forgot how. Oh right, Rim wrote.
Yeah,
Rim
wrote his name. Extended Misa's life. Not the 2 for 2, Misa, for getting your life extended by a Shinigami.
Right.
And then turned into a pile of dust.
Yeah. He knew though.
And yeah, how you? When he successfully played a Shinigami, I think that took his confidence to a whole.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
right.
she was like, "What? Oh, I get it now." She talked to her little monotone voice.
Yes.
Lied to Yagami.
You want me to kill Misa?
You are truly evil.
So I can save Misa's life.
Right. Everything lined up so perfectly for like.
Literally. Yeah.
Like everything just
that's what freaked me out, like how they could see what was gonna happen before it happened.
Yeah.
They both, especially at the end, like Near and Light, both knew what each other was trying to do. And they played into each other's hands.
That's just crazy. Like, how smart can you be?
It's crazy.
That you both, because I'm like, this show has a lot of twists and cliffhangers and episodes that are like, oh my God. And I think one of the bigger ones was when Elle introduces himself as Elle to Light.
Mm-hmm.
And we as the audience are,
he was like,
assume,
I am Elle.
Yeah, he was like, I am Elle. Like, and we're like, oh great, Light's gonna fumble the bag. He's gonna like make it seem like he's Kira. He's gonna blow himself. Great, problem solved. And Light was like, he's saying this because he wants me to. Yes. And I'm like, shit.
So then,
like,
this is the thing that he wants me to say. So then I must not say that. I will say something else instead.
Like, yes. Yeah. And they played that so well. And it was really great that they got to have this conversation with Tennis, because I really like the idea of like using sports, one sports to like talk about strategy, like chess. That chess is used a lot in movies to like symbolize the strategy of the two characters in the film as large. And I'm happy that they went with tennis instead of chess, because like chess is very tropey now.
Yes,
that was a great episode. Because we got to see their strengths. And I love when they both give their speech, because they are the top testers or whatever, and they're like, wow, this other guy just looks so unprofessional, because Elle comes up in like this t-shirt, and
was he wearing? He didn't have no shoes on, did he?
Probably not, because he never wears shoes. Which I love Elle so much. I love the way he sits. I love that he loves sugar and like snacks so much. I love that he just doesn't know how to sit in a chair, and that he never wears shoes.
And he doesn't
sleep.
Like he's got those dark circles under his eyes. Lord, man needs a nap. Funny. I mean, I guess he's napping permanently now. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Why'd you remind me? Why did they kill him though?
He got. But he got by a god of death.
I thought that Elle was going to win for sure. I mean, I guess ultimately he did win, but I thought Elle was going to win, not the successor of Elle.
Do we get Nier's backstory?
No, we don't get Mel or Nier's backstory. We just know that they ended up at this orphanage built to make the successor of Elle. How weird is that?
That's very weird. And like, also that one loves chocolate and one loves toys.
we barely get Elle's backstory, other than like he grew up in this orphanage. But like, how is he so smart? Yeah. Why is he so smart and rich? Why did they build an orphanage made to groom a successor to him? What?
And who was his predecessor? Like, who was Kate?
Yeah, Higuchi.
Yes.
Higuchi. That actually, that whole part of the series drags for me. Like when he
Yeah.
has the book, it it's kind of annoying. But
Yeah.
also it's confusing because we don't we know that Light's Kira, but then Light relinquished his ownership and then these killings. So we're like, okay, did he predate these killings? Does somebody actually has the book? And then they introduce that whole storyline.
Yeah. Yeah. That I didn't, it was weird receiving Light as in a different way. Like knowing that he is Kira or was Kira at one point.
He was so
he was still
passionate
Kira
too.
technically because this was all a part of his like plan.
Yeah, but he had no memory of it. And he would just be he would just like his high pitched like voice passionately screaming like we need to figure this out. Like he was just so into it. And when he's talking about how he planned this, he was like, yeah, when I relinquish my ownership, I'll probably get on the case because that's just
just
my
how
nature.
I am. And I wore the watch that I always wear.
Like,
now I'm going to kill Higuchi from the helicopter.
And he used his own blood.
Yeah.
Like, and watching that, because he's doing it sitting right next to Elle, was so much anxiety.
Yes. And then, but also like shows how his like savagery just got, every time he won, just went up another level.
He's crazy.
He is like, especially when he killed Ray Pember's wife. We don't know this woman's name.
I know.
And he writes her name in the death note, and then she starts to walk away from him because the death has kicked in.
Yeah.
He starts trying to talk to her like, oh, but I thought you wanted to go to didn't you want to go to the police station?
Oh.
Like, I'm like, oh, you're sick.
Sick.
You're sick.
I think by that time we really knew that it was going to take some time for him to get caught.
Yeah, it was going to take a minute because he was on some other stuff.
And it's crazy because all these other characters are so smart too. Yeah. But the thing is that they don't have that manipulation.
Yeah, they're not manipulative. They're not just going around using people.
Yeah, because he couldn't have done it without manipulating other people. And manipulation isn't you outsmarting anybody. It's you. Right.
Exactly. It's not just outsmarting. It's outsmarting someone for your personal gain. Exactly. And at their detriment. Like,
and that's the only reason why Elle struggled and Nier struggled in the beginning, because they were trying to find these missing pieces and they didn't understand the relinquishing thing. Like they didn't know that you could, lose your memory of the book, and how he was using so many people as puppets in this.
Yes. Yep.
And it's like once he added another puppet, it was easier for him to like divert himself from the title of Kira. And that's just crazy.
Like, do you remember when I think this was shortly after Light or Elle was introduced, maybe 2 or 3 episodes after, and it went to a scene of Light killing people using the notebook, but the notebook was sitting on a music stand and he was like using the pen as if he was a conductor. Like, oh yeah, like that's how it was. Like he was just orchestrating everything all the time, like just in control of all of it.
And everybody else that was just as smart as him weren't manipulating other people in that way, and weren't orchestrating. They were just trying to figure it out in general.
Yep. So they weren't playing his game.
Yeah.
I think that's where Elle went wrong, when his tactics started to become inhumane. I think that was like his downfall.
Yeah. But I think it just became a point to where he was getting desperate, and that's probably why he started to
I think he unraveled a bit.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's annoying because he knew Light was Kira, but he could not prove it. Yeah. So we're spending this whole show trying to get people to prove this.
Yes, get caught in the act.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way.
And and then they wrote those fake rules in the Death Note. Like,
yeah, if you don't,
Jesus.
everybody who touches it, like something about them dying or something like that.
Everybody who if the book is destroyed, everybody who touches it will die.
Yes.
And if the owner doesn't write names within 13 days,
they die.
And that's how they wrote off Higuchi.
Yeah, Misa and Light.
Death. Yeah, that too. Oh yeah, that too.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. That's how they were able to say that they were safe.
Yep. Near real quick though.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he was like, this is not real.
Something smells fishy.
Right. But it was really great that Nier was very head on, and he was, when he was like, has there ever been any suspicion that the second L and Kira was Kira? And the detectives were like,
yeah, everybody was like, no, my God. Not this again, please.
Right, yeah.
Aizawa was like, I've been waiting for somebody to ask this question.
Pretty much.
He was
He was on it.
He was like, on it. I don't care.
Maybe he was a little bit suspicious after Light's dad died.
Yeah. Maybe that was a major turn.
That was major.
And then his dad dying and seeing that he couldn't see Light's lifespan, like.
And every time, because like the way that Death Note is like released and written or whatever, there's some things we won't know until afterwards, and there's some things that will happen that we won't understand until afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And he relinquishes his ownership from the Death Note maybe the episode before his dad dies. And I'm just like, or maybe earlier in the episode, but I know it was some time, because when his dad dies, I was like, oh, that's why. Because I was like, why are you relinquishing your ownership? And sometimes I got a little lost in like, what book was whose book? Where was the books? How many books were on Earth? Like, I got, because Ryuk had 3 books?
He had his own. The one he threw into, and the one he threw into the human world that belonged to somebody else. That guy that went to come back and get it.
Right, and that's the one that Light originally got.
Right.
And then Misa had hers.
Yes, the one that was originally belonged to Jealous.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So there are 2 in the world, and then there are 2 by the Shinigami. Because like.
Yeah, they each had their own notebooks. Yeah.
And Ryuk had his own notebook. Okay, yeah. I think I got it now.
Though.
Because when
the
one when the book, so then they're just using Misa's then. When the Shinigami, that first book landed, when he takes his book back, they're just using Misa's book for the rest of the show, aside from the fake book that they made.
Correct. Yes.
Right, because that's where I got confused.
That was confusing. And then when the original transfer of ownership happened, where he was like, all right, Ryuk, you pass it to Rem. Rem, you pass it to me.
Yes!
Okay. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
I don't think
somebody run that back real quick.
Still don't understand that. And I rewinded that to try and understand it, but I don't.
Basically, Light made it so that he owned both notebooks and therefore could orchestrate everything. That's essentially what happened. Yes. So that he would be in control.
Right.
He will always be able to be in control if either notebook got into the hands of somebody else.
Right.
If he ever came back in contact with those notebooks. Because he didn't own Misa's notebook. Right?
Right.
So he
just held on to it.
Yeah. So he had to, there had to be a transfer.
Yeah.
He could own the notebook.
Okay. That makes sense now.
Yeah. But I still don't even know how. I couldn't explain to you how
because it was like so confusing. I was just like, what?
Super confusing.
Yeah, but that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And I got a little confused when like Rin triggered her to trigger Misa to see her, but then Misa didn't have any memory, and Rim just explained everything, and Misa was just like, okay. Like, she
Yeah,
didn't, like,
because
she
she
had no
only
memory. She still
touched
had
a
no,
little piece.
yeah,
She only touched a little piece of it. And Misa, the piece, Misa didn't get her all of her memories back
right.
until
She
she
only
dug
got
up
what
that
she
one.
heard. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I didn't understand why Misa was so down. She was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everybody else was, like, shocked when they first seen the Shinigami and didn't know. I mean, I guess she was shocked too, but that was a little confusing.
Yeah.
Because I had forgotten that she didn't have all her memories back. I thought she did. And then when she dug up her book, I was like, oh, now she has all her memories.
Yes.
But mysteriously, her love for light didn't go away, which is freaking weird.
Right. And then Elle's like, why do you love light? And she's like, I don't know. I just saw him one day. I don't remember, but I just fell in love with him.
It's I don't know how that worked out, because it's just like she only loved light. She didn't love light. She
loved Kira. Yeah.
It wasn't light.
Yeah.
And then her love for light went away, or didn't go away. But when she lost her memory again, at the end of it,
yeah,
she was like, I don't like Kira. Which doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because they both like, and he tried to flip that on Takada too, like, oh yeah, Kira's the one that's keeping us apart.
Right.
Like, yeah, I'm like, you sicko. It's just like
I
invented
know.
new ways of being evil.
like talk about a fuck boy.
Like literally, like the ultimate player. Yeah. Part of me really wishes that like Misa would have. Granted, we don't know if she actually K-worded herself at the end.
Yeah.
It looked like she did.
I'm gonna assume she did, because she loved light.
Yeah. I just like, part of me would just wish she could just like live and just have a happy life. The rest of her like doubly halved lifespan.
Oh, she had a really hard life. Her parents died. She was attacked. You know, 2 Shinigami fell in love with her, which is weird with me, but okay.
Like K-worded themselves for her.
2 of them. 2. What did they see in this woman? I mean, when she had the book for the first time and she was like trying to communicate with Kira, she was actually on some intelligent shit. But for the rest of
for the rest of it, she was just
a bimbo, just straight up.
Like,
because she's the reason they got caught in the first place. If you had to rate Death Note out of 5 stars, what would you rate it?
I would give it a 4.99999.
Really?
No, I'll probably give it a 5. I think in this conversation, I realized how, like, before we talked, I'm like, oh, this is like definitely like for me top 5 anime of all time. Perfect. But there was like, particularly with the second season, the 10 episode, whatever it's called, like, it was, it wasn't bad, but it didn't live up to what happened.
It didn't look, there's some.
But it's still
there's some continuity errors.
Right, exactly. Like, but it's still gonna go down as one of the best series of all time.
Hands down. I mean, it's the premise alone is just so unique. A book that kills, like that, you're not gonna get that anywhere else.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I would give it 5 out of 5 stars, because it was like early anime days for me. Got that nostalgia bump.
Yeah. It is. Très bien.
And I don't really want to read the manga, but in time, I hear it's better.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that too. Like, people are really into it. But I think Tetsuro Araki really made it horror with the series. Like, he really, all the devices and the technologies you get with putting something on the screen, like, he used all those things in the right way to really make this a horror series.
Yeah.
And you can't get that. I mean, you can't get that by, reading the manga, to me.
Yeah. That makes sense, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I just like him a big. He can do no wrong in my eyes. Like, this season of Attack on Titan, I know this ain't about Attack on Titan, but That man
I need to finish.
did what he needed to do. Okay. Like he
I'm excited. Your love for Attack on Titan like excites me. I need to check it out. Well, I'll get back into it because I only watched the first season. And the first season had me shook. I don't know why I fell off. I'm just not a completionist. I'm just not a completionist.
I need you to go back and
I will.
just like, please, Deanna. Like this is not about Attack on Titan. I'm not gonna do it. I said I wasn't gonna do this. I'm not gonna do it.
Right. You're so funny.
I'm not gonna do it because I just want your viewers to know that I am a simp for Attack on Titan, okay? I will hang up this call and go rewatch season 4 right now. No problem. No problem.
These are important things to know. Alyssa's a simp for Attack on Titan. I love that. Black girls that love anime rock.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Gems.
Yeah, we do.
Gems
we are. Get you a black girl that likes anime. We are both single. Where can my viewers find you on social media, Alyssa?
Oh my God, I'm so glad you asked this. You can you can follow me on Instagram at It's Alyssa LaDawn, and you can follow me on Twitter at Alyssa LaDawn. It's for IG, no it's for Twitter.
And you guys can follow me on Instagram at Disco Llama, Twitter at Ghosty, and Letterboxd at Ghosty. Thanks for checking out this video, and I'll see you in the next one.